The US-China trade war has taken a significant turn. This ongoing conflict, which has been simmering for years, has now reached a critical juncture that could reshape the global economic landscape. Recently, the US government announced a sharp increase in tariffs on goods imported from China. This move is part of a broader strategy to address what it perceives as unfair trade practices and to protect domestic industries from foreign competition. These tariffs, which are essentially taxes, now stand at a staggering 245% on certain products. This unprecedented hike is aimed at pressuring China to make concessions in ongoing trade negotiations. This escalation marks a new phase in the ongoing trade dispute between the world's two largest economies. The stakes are higher than ever, with both nations digging in their heels and preparing for a prolonged standoff. The decision to impose such hefty tariffs has sent shockwaves through global markets. Investors are on edge, fearing the ripple effects that could destabilize financial systems and lead to a global economic slowdown. Businesses and investors are grappling with the uncertainty of what this means for the future of international trade. Companies that rely on Chinese imports are particularly vulnerable, facing higher costs and potential supply chain disruptions. This escalation has also raised concerns about the potential impact on consumers who may see prices rise on everyday goods. From electronics to clothing, the cost of many products could increase, squeezing household budgets and reducing consumer spending power. Economists warn that the long-term consequences of this trade war could be severe. Prolonged tariffs could lead to decreased economic growth, job losses in affected industries, and strained international relations. As factories slow down and businesses struggle to adapt, the broader economy could suffer. Small businesses in particular may find it difficult to absorb the increased costs, leading to closures and layoffs. The political ramifications are also significant. Trade policies have become a hot-button issue, sparking debates and protests. Lawmakers are under pressure to find solutions that balance national interests with the realities of a globalized economy. As the world watches closely, the hope is that diplomatic efforts will eventually lead to a resolution. Both nations have much to gain from cooperation and much to lose from continued conflict. The future of global trade hangs in the balance, and the outcome of this dispute will shape economic policies for years to come. In the meantime, the global trade community remains on high alert, navigating the complexities of this new chapter in trade tensions. The decisions made in the coming months will have far-reaching implications, influencing everything from market stability to consumer prices worldwide. The U.S. government argues that these tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and businesses. They believe that by imposing these tariffs, they can create a more level playing field for American companies. The idea is to make it more difficult for foreign competitors, particularly from China, to undercut American products with cheaper alternatives. This, in turn, is expected to boost domestic manufacturing and create more job opportunities for American workers. They claim that China engages in unfair trade practices such as intellectual property theft and forced technology transfer. These practices, according to U.S. officials, give Chinese companies an unfair advantage in the global market. By stealing intellectual property, Chinese firms can produce similar products at a lower cost, undermining American innovation and competitiveness. Forced technology transfer, where American companies are required to share their technology with Chinese partners as a condition for market access, further exacerbates this issue. By making Chinese goods more expensive, the U.S. hopes to encourage consumers to buy American-made products instead. The tariffs are designed to increase the cost of imported goods, making domestically produced items more attractive to consumers. This shift in consumer behavior is expected to stimulate the U.S. economy by increasing demand for American products, thereby supporting local businesses and industries. Additionally, it aims to reduce the trade deficit between the U.S. and China, which has been a long-standing concern for American policymakers. However, critics argue that these tariffs will ultimately harm the U.S. economy. They contend that the increased costs of imported goods will lead to higher prices for consumers, reducing their purchasing power. This could result in decreased consumer spending, which is a key driver of economic growth. Furthermore, the uncertainty and potential for retaliatory tariffs from other countries could create a volatile business environment, making it difficult for companies to plan for the future. They point out that tariffs are essentially a tax on American consumers, who will end up paying more for imported goods. This increase in prices can be particularly burdensome for low and middle-income families who may already be struggling to make ends meet. Higher costs for everyday items such as electronics, clothing, and groceries can significantly impact household budgets, leading to financial strain and reduced quality of life. Additionally, they argue that tariffs could disrupt global supply chains and hurt American businesses that rely on Chinese imports. Many U.S. companies depend on Chinese components and raw materials to produce their goods. Tariffs on these imports can increase production costs, making it more expensive for American businesses to operate. This could lead to higher prices for consumers, reduced competitiveness for U.S. companies in the global market, and potential job losses if businesses are forced to cut costs. The interconnected nature of modern supply chains means that the impact of tariffs can ripple through the economy, affecting various industries and sectors. The impact of these tariffs extends far beyond the U.S. and China. As the trade war escalates, it creates uncertainty and volatility in global markets. Investors are wary of the potential for a slowdown in global economic growth. This uncertainty can lead to decreased investment and slower economic activity worldwide. Other countries may also be forced to take sides in the trade dispute, potentially leading to further economic and political ramifications. Beyond the economic implications, the U.S. government also cites national security concerns as a reason for the increased tariffs. They argue that China's technological advancements, particularly in areas like artificial intelligence and 5G, pose a threat to U.S. national security. By imposing tariffs on Chinese technology companies, the U.S. aims to limit their access to the American market and slow down their technological progress. This move reflects a growing concern in the U.S. about China's growing global influence and its potential to challenge U.S. technological dominance. Section 5. The price we pay. In this segment, we delve into the tangible effects of tariffs on the everyday lives of consumers. For the average consumer, the most immediate impact of these tariffs will likely be felt in their wallets. As prices rise, the cost of everyday items will become more noticeable. The increased tariffs on Chinese goods are expected to lead to higher prices on a wide range of products, from electronics and appliances to clothing and toys. This means that the next time you go to buy a new smartphone, a pair of jeans, or even a child's toy, you might find yourself paying significantly more than you did just a few months ago. This increase in the cost of living could disproportionately affect lower-income households who already struggle to make ends meet. For these families, every dollar counts, and the added expense can mean the difference between being able to afford basic necessities or not. Lower-income households spend a larger portion of their income on consumer goods. When prices rise, they feel the pinch more acutely. This can lead to difficult choices, such as cutting back on groceries, foregoing new clothes, or delaying important purchases. The tariffs could also lead to a decrease in consumer spending. When people are faced with higher prices, they tend to buy less. This reduction in spending can have a ripple effect throughout the economy, potentially slowing down economic growth. Retailers may see fewer customers, and businesses might struggle to maintain their sales. This slowdown can lead to job losses and further economic challenges, creating a cycle that is difficult to break. Small businesses, in particular, may find it hard to cope with the increased costs. They often operate on thin margins and may not have the flexibility to absorb higher prices without passing them on to consumers or cutting back on their workforce. As families and communities grapple with these changes, the broader implications of tariffs become clear. It's not just about the price of goods, it's about the overall health of the economy and the well-being of the people who live within it. While the road ahead may be challenging, understanding the impact of these tariffs is the first step in finding solutions that can help mitigate their effects and support those who are most affected. Section 6. Unraveling supply chains. The U.S.-China trade war has exposed the fragility of global supply chains. Many businesses rely on a complex network of suppliers and manufacturers around the world, with China often playing a crucial role. The tariffs and trade tensions are forcing businesses to rethink their supply chains and consider alternative sourcing options. This process of readjustment can be costly and time-consuming, potentially leading to disruptions in production and delays in getting products to consumers. Section 7. Navigating the uncertain future. The future of the US-China trade war remains uncertain. Both sides have shown a willingness to negotiate, but have also dug in their heels on certain issues. The outcome of this trade dispute will have significant consequences for the global economy. A prolonged trade war could lead to a global economic slowdown, while a negotiated settlement could restore stability and boost global trade. The uncertainty surrounding the trade war makes it challenging for businesses and investors to plan for the future. Section 8. Staying ahead of the curve. In these uncertain times, it is more important than ever for individuals and businesses to stay informed about the latest developments in the US-China trade war. Following news coverage from reputable sources can provide insights into the potential impacts of this trade dispute. Understanding the issues at stake and the potential consequences can help individuals make informed decisions about their finances, and businesses adapt their strategies to mitigate risks and capitalize on opportunities. Section 9. The road ahead. The US-China trade war is a complex issue with far-reaching implications. While the outcome remains uncertain, one thing is clear: the global economy is interconnected, and actions taken by one country can have ripple effects around the world. As we move forward, it is crucial for governments, businesses, and individuals to work together to find solutions that promote fair trade, economic growth, and global stability. Staying informed and engaged in the conversation is essential for navigating the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.